Chapter 1: The Long Sleep. They told me cryosleep was peaceful. They lied. When I closed my eyes on Earth, I remember the hum of the engines, the whispered prayers of the crew, and the cold bite of the gel crawling up my spine. We were bound for Epsilon Prime, the first habitable world beyond human reach. The ship, Odyssey's Grace, carried 50 of us. Scientists, engineers, dreamers. I was just a maintenance officer. Nothing special. Just a guy who fixed things when they broke. Then something went wrong. When I opened my eyes again, everything was silent. My cryopod was cracked open like an egg. Frost crept across my skin. The ship's lights flickered weakly, throwing ghostly shadows along the corridors. No alarms, no voices. Just silence. "Computer," I croaked, my throat raw. "Status report." The voice that answered wasn't the ship's AI. It was soft, musical, and not human. "You are safe, Terran. Please do not move." Froze. My vision was blurry, but I could make out a silhouette. Tall, graceful, pale silver skin that shimmered under emergency lights. Large violet eyes, inhumanly wide. An alien. And I wasn't dreaming. Chapter 2. The Stranger Among Stars. She introduced herself as Princess Ilera of the Thalren Dominion, a civilization that had been at war with humanity, or at least had been aware of humanity, long before our first interstellar voyage. Her ship, she said, had found Odyssey's Grace adrift. The crew was gone. Systems were dead. I had been the only one left in a functioning pod. Ilera's kind weren't supposed to be anywhere near this sector. The Thalren were xenophobic, secretive, and immensely powerful. Yet, here she was, aboard my ship, nursing me back from cryo-freeze in what looked like a hybrid med bay. "You should not be alive," she said, almost to herself. "Humans are fragile." "Yeah," I rasped. "We get that a lot." That earned me what I later realized was a smile. Thin-lipped but genuine. Days, weeks maybe, passed as I recovered. Ilera explained that she was on a diplomatic mission when her vessel intercepted our derelict. Her ship had been damaged in the process. She needed help. I was the only engineer within reach. So we worked together. Two enemies, if the galaxy still kept score, trying to keep a dying ship alive. But it was during those endless quiet hours in the glowing blue corridors that I began to notice something. The way she watched me. The way she tilted her head, studying the smallest expressions. She wasn't cold or cruel. She was curious, gentle, almost lonely. Chapter 3: Fire in the Void. The universe doesn't allow peace for long. While repairing the plasma conduits, we detected an incoming signal. A Thalren warship. Ilera's ship. They had finally found her. Good news. Yes. Her expression told me otherwise. They are not here to rescue. They are here to erase the shame. I didn't understand. Until she told me the truth. She had defied her father, the Emperor, to save me. Thalren law forbade contact with lesser species. To preserve her honor, they would rather destroy both ships than let her actions become known. I remember the tremor in her voice when she said, "They will not stop until both of us are ash." "Then we fight," I said. She looked at me like I'd just suggested wrestling a star. "You would die." "Probably," I shrugged. "But I'm human. We're bad at giving up." She didn't reply, but her eyes softened. For a second, the mask of royalty slipped, and I saw fear, and something else, beneath it. We spent the night rigging what systems we could. The Grace had long since lost her main thrusters, but her defense turrets could still hum if given enough juice. It worked. She strategized. And for the first time we weren't just survivor and savior. We were allies. Chapter 4. The battle for silence. When the Thalren warship arrived, it filled the void like a moving mountain of obsidian. Their opening salvo tore through the Grace's hull. The ship screamed. Ilara stood beside me on the bridge. Her royal crest dimmed, her jaw set. They will hail me. They will offer surrender. And you'll tell them no, I guessed. She turned, a faint smile ghosting across her face. You learn quickly, Terran. The hail came. A hologram bloomed before us. An older Thalren. His eyes like shards of amethyst. Ilara's father. You shame our bloodline, he thundered. Return or perish with the beast. She didn't flinch. Then I perish, she said simply. Before he could speak again, I cut the channel. Time to make him regret the family reunion. We fought like demons. I rerouted power through auxiliary coils until my hands burned. The ship trembled under constant fire. Ilara guided the weapons with surgical precision, each shot striking weak points I couldn't even see. But for every victory the cost rose. The Grace's hull was breaking apart. Life support was dwindling. I was bleeding, half-conscious, when the reactor finally gave way. Ilara grabbed me before the blast wave hit. She dragged me, literally dragged me, into a pod, sealing it before the explosion consumed the ship. Chapter 5. Between Dreams. I don't remember much after that. Flashes. Cold. Her voice. When I woke again, I was in a soft bed, surrounded by faint golden light. The air smelled of some alien blossom, sweet and sharp. And then I realized. I wasn't alone. Ilara was there, lying beside me. Her arm draped over my chest, her head against my shoulder. Sleeping. Peaceful. Vulnerable. For a moment I couldn't breathe. She stirred slightly, murmuring in her sleep. Safe, finally safe. Her skin was warmer than I expected. The light shimmered across her markings, patterns that shifted like constellations. I didn't move. Not because I was afraid, but because I didn't want the moment to end. When she finally woke, she didn't pull away. She just looked at me, silent, 1,000 unspoken words between us. Your people would call this scandalous, she whispered. Probably, I said. But they'd also call it beautiful. She smiled again, the same quiet, fragile smile she'd worn the day she saved me. Chapter 6. The Price of Peace. Ilara's ship, damaged but functional, had survived. The Thalren fleet believed us dead. In a way we were. The universe thought the princess had perished in disgrace, and the last Terran survivor had been lost to the void. We hid on a small moon orbiting a nameless star. Repaired. Rebuilt. In time, she confessed what I had already suspected. She hadn't saved me because of duty or curiosity. She'd done it because she'd seen something in me. Something her people had forgotten long ago. You burn, she said once. Humans burn so brightly it frightens the dark. And I told her that maybe the stars themselves were just old humans who never stopped burning. It wasn't love, not in the beginning. But it grew, quietly, stubbornly, like a spark that refused to die. One night, as we stood under the twin moons, she said softly, If my people come again, I will not run. And if they do, I replied, they'll have to go through me. Her hand found mine. And in that infinite silence between two dying suns, we became something neither human nor Thalren had ever known. Chapter 7. The Return. Years passed. We built a small outpost on that forgotten moon, a blend of human grit and alien elegance. Others came. Drifters, refugees, wanderers who'd heard whispers of a place where species didn't matter. We called it Haven. When the Thalren finally returned, they didn't find a broken princess or a dead human. They found a colony, alive, thriving, united. And when the Emperor's fleet arrived to reclaim his daughter, she stood beside me before the crowd. "Father," she said through the comms, "I have not shamed our people. I have freed them." Behind her, dozens of species stood together, human and Thalren side by side. The Emperor hesitated. Then slowly his ship withdrew. Peace was never written that day, but it was born. Epilogue. When I woke up. Sometimes I still wake in the middle of the night, reaching for the stars through the viewport of our small outpost home. Ilara sleeps beside me, her hair glowing faintly in the starlight. I used to think the universe was cold, uncaring. But that was before I slept alone, and woke up to find an alien princess sleeping in my arms.